You know what the big issue was? This isn't my fault. You guys are going to be able to hear us now, correct?
Can anyone hear us?
They're going to hear us now. And the reason they're going to hear us now is because I never added my computer to the stream.
Oh,
Perfect.
well, there
Perfect.
we go.
But
I think we're golden now. Yes,
Yep,
hey.
yep. Thanks,
All right.
Chris.
This is only our 13th episode. We're still learning. So let's take that from the top. We are honored here to be with Gary Howe at Kalamazoo Speedway on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you share the heck out of this once we release it. Get the word out. Let's pack this place in 2023.
I agree. Since we didn't hear what we said earlier, we just thank Gary for this opportunity. And this is an awesome time in October that we're at this track, and I'm excited for what's coming up. So
Me too.
We had many days this year we raced. We did not have days as nice as what it is here. Almost November, and so we're in short sleeve shirts, and it's
I wish every race day was like this. This is perfect.
Just perfect.
Yeah. You're not sweating your balls off in the suit,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We'll just go there.
Some quick shout outs before we get started.
Yes.
Top Row Racing already commented. They're down live at Montville today for their season ending show. Make sure you go tune in once we're done here, of course. Check out their racing action. Lewis is a great guy, does a lot. And it's announced now he's going to be full-time at Kalamazoo Speedway on Fridays next year, which is super awesome because he's always a good time.
Well deserved.
Yes.
He does great work. And
fantastic work.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's Tyler wants to know if you let us test the limo out yet.
I haven't yet, but you bring both out here to make sure we get the best bottom runner. And before we're going to put a limo stacker car together.
This is that's the best news I've heard.
Yeah. So that's breaking news. I didn't think that was true. All right, well that's awesome.
We're going to be here for half an hour, so if you want to do a few hot laps, come bring them out.
Yeah. Doggy. So we're gonna jump right in. Actually, no, we got one more shot at real quick. Tonight, I believe it starts at 7. Dave's Bar right off of D Avenue. We went out there last night and heck of hospitality from them. Holly was our waitress, bartender, and amazing work. They've got an 80s party tonight.
$2 beers.
$2 domestic cans. $3.50 Wells. Heck of a time. They're going to do costume contest. Halloween movies on the big screen. They'll be playing the Michigan State game. Go Blue. Just throwing that out there real quick. But no, it's going to be a good time. And whoever wins the Halloween costume contest, it's $50 off their bill at the end if they win it. So
nice.
It's a good time. Go out and see them. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it.
Without further ado.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm excited for this, y'all. Let's see if I can mess this up today. Oh, get out of there. So, we're pulling it up. Season 73. Fastest 3/8 mile in the world. Let's just get right into it here. So we broke it down. LM has template late models. They have 14 races on the schedule. Street stocks of the SS, 18 races for the street stocks, which is huge because, let's be real, they're putting on one of the best races that I've ever seen in my life. FWD, Outlaw Front Wheel Drives, they have 14 races lined up this year. And the ZS of the Zoo Stocks run out with the 19 races. We all know the Zoo Stocks, sometimes they put on the best races and they bring in the most cars at some point. So that's awesome to see them get some recognition with the 19 races there. So, Paul, I'm going to let you jump right in here with April.
Let's do it. Before you know it, April's going to be here. So for all those procrastinators that haven't done anything to the cars, make sure you get started here. But we kick things off season 73 Saturday, April 8th with open practice. Always good time to shake the cars down. Make sure you're ready to go for opening night. And then April 15th, the following Saturday, winter's gone. Gut and go, 100 lap enduro, and crash and bash.
So I'm going to stop you on that. So, Gary, with the winter's gone, gut and go, what's the main goal with that race?
A gut and go is not going to be having the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and $7,000 Zoo stocks or front wheel drives or whatever enter these races. A gut and go race, like it says, gut it out. Our minimal will be we need a horizontal bar behind the back seat from side to side, and we need a good driver door plate. We certainly like 5-point harness, 4-point harness at least, and I wouldn't mind a simple rollover hoop bar too. But these are not for cars that have been out racing. For our zoo stocks or Galesburg's Berg stocks or whatever, it's not for those guys. These are for people. Get some people that haven't raced before to win a race or get a third or fourth or fifth place. Maybe it was our fault back in the 2010s through 16s when the enduros got so big, and all of a sudden you've got a lot of high dollar cars out there, the escorts and stuff. Boy, a few of them you're still seeing race weekly at Galesburg, winning races.
Winning races.
So the gun goes kind of try to get new breed of people out here, and that's what that's all about. So
that's a super cheap way to come to the racetrack.
And it goes back to old school.
Yep.
Like if we can get the enduros the way they were back in the day, like 200 cars, and you got porta potties in the middle of the track. I mean, that was the times where you pack the stands. And when you see a shitter get hit with a car, the crowd goes crazy. So,
yeah, that's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Good way to kick off the season. And then following up the weekend after that, on April 22nd, the season opener for the late models, street stocks, front wheel drive, and zoo stocks.
It's Temple late models, but that's okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not outlaw late
Not
models.
outlaw. That's coming up. Yeah.
So real quick, when you see this coming soon, don't go anywhere because it will be announced.
Yep, towards the end of this. So April 28th, make sure you circle that one on the calendar too. Just circle every weekend in April. That's where we're getting at.
So we're going to go over to May real quick here. 4 great weeks in May. We got the weekly racing on week 5 with a template late models, street stock, front wheel driving, and zoo stocks. May 12th, same thing. We're coming back with the 4-in-1 show there. May 19th, coming soon. May 26th, another weekly racing with the template late models, street stocks, front wheel drive, and the zoo stocks. So you got 4 really good points nights coming in there, possibly, or 3, possibly 4, depending on what May 19 looks like.
4 for almost everybody. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We got some words going here. But we're going to jump into June, Paul.
All right. June 2nd, weekly racing with the template late models, street stocks, front wheel drives, and the zoo stocks. And then 2 big weekends, June 9th and June 16th. We're going to talk about those here in a couple slides. Chad's favorite, coming soon. And then June 23rd, it's a tradition. It's the big red, white, and blue Night of Destruction with a gigantic fireworks display. And I feel like that's an understatement.
That is an understatement.
I've seen a lot of fireworks throughout the country. This place, hands down, provides the best show. And it's probably one of the most affordable nights you can do anymore. Come out here, enjoy fireworks, enjoy a great show of destruction. It's I've never been to one until I met Chad, and he talked me into it, and we've been to every one since.
Yep. And then, with the fireworks show, I mean, when you've got cars lining up on D Avenue, on Ravine, just to watch the show, that shows how big that show is.
One thing I know that the 23rd seems kind of strange here a little bit. For the fireworks, our main fireworks show, we have found back in the day, back in 2005, 10, whatever, when we got a holiday weekend, whether it's July 4th or Labor Day, Memorial Weekend, we used to pump 2, sometimes 3 races on for those weekends. A lot of people, their values have changed a little bit, and you see we go kind of softer on the holidays now. We're doing that the weekend before. Yep. That next weekend, there won't be a track or a fair or anything else that won't have fireworks and won't have a show and won't have. We're just trying to grab it 1 week ahead.
And that's huge because you see too many people doing them that early, and that's going to bring more people out here. So
it almost extends the whole holiday.
Yep.
Now instead of just cramming everything into that week, you got 2 weeks worth of fireworks and events to go to.
I believe, and like I said, that's why this very, very big letters up here says tentative. Yep. I think that will be Saturday the 24th, but it will be that weekend.
Yep, that's
fine. It will be that weekend. But no, we're going a week ahead of everybody else, and but we're kind of leaving the holidays kind of soft because a lot of those that used to be a filled-in 2,000 or 3,000 person crowd, a lot of times those are closer to 700-800 people now.
Yep.
So you just got to kind of watch what we do. bottom line, people are going to do what they need to do with their family, with their friends, with their whatever. And July 4th and Labor Day has turned into real big there, and not quite so big at the racetrack. So we kind of gotta keep an eye on that kind of stuff, and that's why you're seeing that, boy. Why is it, a whole weekend before July 4th? And the other thing, of course, this year July 4th falls on a Tuesday, which kind of hoses things up pretty good too. So that's why you're seeing that on that weekend before everybody else is going to be doing that. So
I like it.
Me too.
I mean, it's a good change.
Yes, absolutely. And then June 3rd, all you front wheel drive guys, it's front wheel drive madness. 1,000 to win Zoo Stocks, which is huge. That's going to bring, I'm calling it right now, probably at least a C feature, if not a D feature.
No, we're going D feature.
And then the National Compact Series racing for 2,000 to win. So that's going to be one heck of a show.
That's Friday the 30th, not the 3rd. But that's okay. But it is Friday the 30th. And there again, that's what I'm talking about, the softer weekend on July 4th.
Yep.
After that Friday, you know what? You got 5 days. Go hit every other track. Hit every track twice if you can.
Yep.
But hit every track. But we're kind of out of there on the 30th, and except on the 3rd when Andy Jack is bringing up another enduro there.
So we'll pull that slide up since we touched on it. July 3, American Night at the Zoo.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah,
It does. Paul and I ran this event last year, and it was a great time. So definitely that's an event you don't want to miss as well.
Andy seems to, from National Compacts, he seems to have this Got to Go Enduro series going okay now.
Yep.
65, 68 cars on his first attempt here, and I think we're going to be back to 100 cars. I think it's a while before we're going to see 170 or 200. But to see 100, 110 cars again, when we have 100 to keep cars from going too fast, you're going to see a few shitters out on the track, and a few tires, or a few stall cars or whatever, just to take away that fast groove if somebody has a fast car.
Exactly.
But I think that would be a good one, and that's Monday the 3rd, July 3rd.
That's awesome. And that's a good thing because I've seen a lot on Facebook where a lot of the enduro guys didn't want to come out anymore because guys are out here with Zoo Stocks or
It was a big race.
Yep.
Big race, yeah.
And so hopefully this brings some of those the older enduro guys that used to run it all the time, get them out here. So July 8 and July 14 coming soon. July 21, we could go back to weekly racing with a template late miles of street stocks, front wheel drive, and Zoo Stocks. And then July 28, weekly racing with a template late miles, street stocks, front wheel drive, and Zoo Stocks. July looks fun, and especially when we get to the slide at the end there. Yeah. So, Paul, go ahead and let's talk about August. So this one I got questions on too, but I'm going to let you go, Paul.
August 5th, Truck Racers at the Zoo featuring street stock, front wheel drives, and Zoo Stocks. Gary, talk to us about that. What's that event going to look like?
Did you guys, either one of you, see the truck races we had here in, God, you can't even remember, before the pandemic, in 2020?
Yep.
You're talking the semis?
Yes.
Yes.
Big rig series there. We've had those scheduled last 2 years.
Yep.
During the pandemic, everybody fell on hard times. That series split into two groups, and we had one of each group last year, this year, and last year scheduled, and they've had some official contract issues, and they canceled on us. And in all honesty, Randy doesn't take kind to that, and
can't say I blame him.
And he's bought 3 semis and stuff already, and he plans to have 12 to 15 semis, and I think in 2024 you're gonna see 2 or 3 races a year with these semis, and it's a good chance for one of you boys to.
So hold on, you're saying this is breaking news, folks. You're saying Randy is buying the semis.
Randy, we're starting our own series. There you go. So
you heard it here.
This is an exclusive.
We've had 2 years. We got canceled, and we get our skybox people get pissed off. I mean, we get a lot of people irritated. And we get excited and we post it. As soon as we have something signed, we get it posted. And they canceled on us 2 times in a row. So yeah, Randy he's went down to Texas to pick up one truck, and Tennessee or Kentucky to pick up another truck. But no, this is going to be good stuff. John Long's going to be busy. Johnny's going to be putting some cages and so forth in these trucks and the Nerf bars, and taking the saddle tanks off and everything. But it's going to be good. And that was a good show here.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I watched videos on YouTube of that stuff leading up to it, and then to see it live, see 18-wheelers go into turn 1 3 wide. I mean, it was wild. It was a good time if you were not here. So this is exciting. That gets me excited.
So it's fun because last night Paul and I were talking, and Paul's like, "Why are they bringing the big rigs in again?" And I'm like, well, I plan on asking what this truck racer at the zoo is, but it's exclusive, folks. You heard it here first, so that's huge.
They were the two of those companies, and I'm not dogging either.
No,
the two of them were involved, and they were all of a sudden the drivers in the other series that are coming here were getting lawsuit letters saying if you participate in this, and that ended it. That ended it. But it's happened 2 years in a row, and we took the A group and the B group, and neither group produced anything for us. So that's and Randy's in the trucking. That's his passion, I guess you call it. So no, this is kind of exciting. This is good stuff.
So folks, when you question what these tracks are doing to help short track racing, listen to what they're doing here. They are building a fleet
of semis.
A fleet of semis just to bring different type of racing to these tracks. And that place was sold out. This place was sold out when they were here. So
it was a good group, yeah. And bad weather day too, if you remember.
It was not great.
45% chance of rain, and we still. I was worried to death. And holy Lord, it
was an awesome turnout, and it was a great event. So I'm excited. Like that circle on when I seen that, I'm like, what is he doing with truck racers? Like, what's going on? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's finish up August here.
Yeah. So August 11th, weekly night. Fab 4, Temple Late Model Street Stocks, front wheel drive, and Zoo Stocks. And then August 18th and August 25th, coming soon. Real soon. We're almost to the end of the
We are very close. So we're going to jump right into September here. We got one last week before championship night, September 1, weekly racing with the Template Late Model Street Stocks, front wheel drive, and Zoo Stocks. And then September 8th, season championship. Now, if you have been to Kalamazoo Speedway the last 4 years, season championship night is always one of the best nights. You have guys that are within a handful of points away from winning a championship. You have guys breaking out, LC Jr.
2
years in a row. It is one of the best nights that you can attend because it's going to be the hardest racing you've seen. Because you got guys, young kids, guys who've won championships 15 years ago, coming in here trying to win a championship, and it is a fun show. That's one of the fun shows.
One thing a lot of you guys always, and both you brought up about the track championships and so forth, and we always fought for that too, but I watch now, and there's people every bit excited that have a race between 7th and 8th place. Boy, that guy in 7th place only 6 points ahead of me, and no, it's not just for championships. It's for bragging rights, if you will.
100%, yeah.
And a guy that's in 8th place and he's fighting for 7th, to him that's his track championship.
I agree.
So that's good. That's kind of cool to see. So
hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah. Absolutely.
And because Paul, didn't you have a story about that? Was it Springport, or you were like 1 point or 2 positions off from 4th, and you were pushing for it?
Yep. Yeah, back in 2014, it came down. It was 4th through 7th. It's basically who's going to finish
right there.
Best.
Yep.
So, nope, Devin, that's fun. And then you see September 16, another night destruction with fireworks. These September night destructions are fun too because it's cooler out and the racing gets fun, and these events are awesome. So excited for another one of those. And then we're going to finish out September with Super Shoe. So a question on Super Shoe real quick. So this year we went to basically a 2-day show. You prefer the 3-day shows?
4 of our last 5 have been 2-day shows. Okay, they've all been booked at 3-day shows, and I'm not sure to do a Friday practice and a Saturday big show and have Sunday for a complete rain date. I'm not sure if that's not the better bet to do. I do have one announcement on Super Shoe. Can I do that?
Of course.
One thing on Super Shoe, I don't know what it is, like 108 or whatever. It's a long 10, 20, 30, 36. For this year, Super Shoe, we will still have our rear wheel drive class. We'll still have our front wheel drive class like we have. New for 2023, we will have a stock frame class. And that's basically to keep our street stocks from racing against late model, is what it boils down to. Street stocks, that's a big part of our business. And it's not us, it's Berg and Springport and South Bend and everybody. I mean, street stocks are the good race, good program. But when it comes to this show, we miss out on a lot of those guys. A lot of them go over to Springport because they race individual classes. We choose not to, but we're going to have a stock train class, and that Ricky LeDuc and some of these guys are going to be racing against their own guys instead of some late models and some template cars and so forth. So I think there'll be a big announcement. I think it'll be well thought of, but that is the change for Super Shoe this year. As far as you see, I have it listed for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I like to say 4 of the last 5 because due to my nature, we have not got to. And so we'll see.
Definitely.
That's
I'm
an
excited for
exciting
that.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think you're going to get a lot more street stocks.
Yep.
So that's awesome news. And I've seen a lot of people, again, on Facebook, like, okay, let's do this. What are we?
Speaking of Ricky LeDuc.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Gary Howe. I'll race every Super Shoe from here on out with those rules.
Okay.
Amen to that.
There you go.
That's
what
what it's about. Exactly. So I'm
Bring
gonna.
that teammate of yours too.
Calling
him out. I love it.
So Paul, I'm gonna talk about this next slide where it says modifieds. I'm gonna talk about this and let you talk about the last slide just because it's close enough for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, May 19, one of those coming soon. Race 1, $2,500 to win. Also on the tab is the template late models, street stocks, and zoo stocks. I'm just going to go through this and then we'll ask questions because this is exciting stuff.
Okay.
June 16, race number 2, $2,500 to win. Also coming along are the VROA modifieds, street stocks, and zoo stocks. Then my favorite. July 14, race number 3, $5,000 to win modified race with the VROA modifieds, front wheel drive, and zoo stocks. And then rounding it out on August 25, race number 4, $2,500 to win. Running with them are the street stocks and zoo stocks. We've got $12,500 that we are. Well, I say we. The track is.
If we're all in this together. We're we.
That's a huge payout to bring these modifieds back in. I know when modifieds ran here for years. I like the modifieds out here. They always put on really, really good races. What do you got to say about the modifieds? Like, I like it.
Like you say, modifieds race very good at this track. They don't race good at every track. In all honesty, our track to the north of us, they do not put on a good show there. I mean, just certain cars do certain. They're very, very racy at our track. Mark Flerman, 4J Trucking, he's a big reason we've got these 4 big modified shows here. Got to throw it out to him. We're going to stick with the basic rules. We're not going to have these zoo mods or anything like this. This is going to be the same mods that can go anywhere in the Midwest and race.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you, it was a scheduling nightmare to find 4 days to stay off everybody's big show. It doesn't do any track any good, even if it's over in Birch Run and we're 3 hours away from each other. It doesn't do any track any good for them to have a $5,000 and us to have $5,000 win show. Very, very tough to. Hey, other tracks are going to have their weekly show. We know that, but we did our best to stay away from all the big shows up at Owasso and everything. So that was as much as of anything to the scheduling snafu and to get Flerman nailed down to get some money put into the series. I think it's going to be good. One thing for you modified guys, it will be an impound race that night. You buy your 4 tires here, you race them. We aren't going to have any soak shit to deal with. The biggest thing that's in the big late model shows, big modified shows are tire soak. And all 4 of our, we're talking about late models in a bit, but the 4 modified shows, you're going to buy your tires here that night. I don't care what you practice on. I don't care what you, but you're going to qualify on the tires and you're going to race on the tires you bought that day, and we aren't going to have to be sending any tires in to have them tested or anything like that. So
that's a smart call.
So that's all 4 modified shows. Again, a big thank you to Mark Flerman for J Trucking. So
definitely, I'm excited to see them, and I love the modifieds. They grew on me. and when I seen them here, I was like, that's some racing.
They're a little loud. I wish you could get a little bit different muffler situation, but there again, we're not going to try to invent the wheel. We aren't going to have a Zoom out type thing where they're only going to race the Kalamazoo. No, you're not going to get 25, 20. You're not going to have a good 24 car feature like we're going to have now.
I agree.
So it's going to be the regular rules that all the other mod tracks around are racing on, and we're go with that.
Perfect.
F70
That's awesome.
tire. So
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, Paul, I'm going to send this over to you, and I'm going to let you take control of the Outlaw Super Late Models.
This is exciting. Roll right into it, Chad. Hit the next thing here. Date number 1, April 28th. Race number 1, $5,000 to win. The Intimidator 100, featuring the Street Stocks front wheel drive and Zoo Stocks as well. That race, it's a tradition. It's a tradition race. That's one of the most fun. There's been years where it's kind of like today, where it's nice. There's years where it snowed in the morning and we're in 19 layers. But
was it 2019? We had to finish it a couple weeks later.
18, I think, yeah, it rained out for like 3 weeks
Yep.
straight after 50 laps or something. So definitely circle your calendars for that one. And race number 2, let's hit that one up here. June 9th, $5,000 to win. Outlaw Late Models. With the template late models, Street Stocks, and Zoo Stocks too, the money is getting thrown around, just like with the modifieds. This is huge. Race number 3, boom, July 8th, Kalamazoo Clash, $15,000 to win. Also, super exciting if you were with us in 2022, the late models, the template late models, and the Street Stocks. Honestly, one of the best programs.
Oh my gosh.
We just fell into that
Oh,
because we had a good show on Friday with the band and everything here. We had a good party here for Friday night, and then rolling into the Clash. Well, we got bombed out on weather-wise, and
that was a blessing.
It was. It really was. And I am, in all honesty, I wish I could find a way to throw modifieds in there too, because it'd just be a kick-ass show. But there's not enough time for a one-day show for that. But that ended up so cool last year. It was
an event. Just to be a part of, the vibe was way different down here. I mean, it's always exciting, but having all 3 divisions, there was just a lot more activity, a lot more excitement, and man, that's exciting. And I like it in July.
I love it.
The weather was great this last year on Saturday, that is. So hopefully we can back it up again this coming year. And then race number 4 for the Outlaw Late Models on August 18th, another $5,000 to win. With the with the template late models, Street Stocks, and Zoo Stocks as well. That's $30,000 worth of prize money just to win these things. That's huge. Gary, I'm going to let you talk about it.
Before he does that, I'm calling out every Outlaw Super Late Model driver right now because this season, 2022, it sucked because seeing only, 16, 15, 14 of these guys out here. Guys, when I was growing up, this is the class I grew up watching that I loved watching.
We all did.
Everyone.
Yep.
Gary and Kalamazoo Speedway, they are throwing money out there to get you out here. And I know it's not points nights, and I know a lot of people are like, God, I wish we could do points. But you know what? You got four really good races to come out here and put a show on for everyone. And let's get Outlaw Super Late Models back on the radar.
Agreed.
Well, the first thing with that, scheduling, again, was a nightmare. We've also Scott Russell's schedule out online and so forth. There's 12 big shows. 12 big shows post already. New Paris has their big show, and whoever else comes up with a show or 2 or 3. So, it's about every weekend. The downside to this is the Clash we will, but I don't know on the other 3 if we'll be able to do rain date, because almost every weekend, the next weekend or the next, they've got another big, and like I said, it doesn't do us any good when Bertrand or Wasso or Grand Rapids or whoever it is has another $5,000 win show there, because bottom line, there's 35 of these cars, and it's no good to get for him to get 18 and us to get 17 of them.
Okay.
So we had a lot of phone calls before all the tracks had their schedules out to try to get to be safe, and we are safe right now. So
Awesome.
So, big thing on that. The other thing, just like the modifieds, buy your tires that day. They stay in the Corralton area until we race them, and then we put them on. There's not going to be any debate on who's got a scientific process here to get the tires work good after 50 laps, 75 laps, or 100 laps, whatever it happens to be. So, between that and keeping off everybody's dates, I think we got a good series. That's the first year. This will be the first year, and I started racing in '77, so I'll give everybody's date away there. How damn old I am, but this we all, like you said, we all grew up watching these late model guys. This is the first year Kalamazoo hasn't had a weekly class of super late models kind of ever. And that's kind of sad in its own way. On the flip side, we've got 4 big shows instead of 1 like we usually do, or 2. And I think we spaced them out. We got them spaced out good, and I think our crowd will get a good taste of their super late models and what they need to.
Okay.
When it got to be weekly and it got to be August, and you got 11 cars or 9 cars or whatever on that was sad. That was sad, and not even saying it wasn't a still good race, but it's still sad to see. Well, we're not going to see that anymore. I think I'll be very surprised if we start any race that won't be a full field and we still have a decent little B feature or last chance race, whatever you want to call it, going on. So that'll be good. And for modifieds and supers, I think we're giving as best as we can do with kind of a scale down season. So
Yeah, I know it's really appreciated. I know Paul this season was worried that the supers were going to be taken off the schedule, and I know Paul's very appreciative that you guys kept him on for the year.
Got to finish it out, which is huge because I think we were all worried. I mean, we saw the car counts and it wasn't sustainable. Nope. So I think this year 4 really big races is honestly the way to go. So
it's better than none.
Yeah, and then Drew Jack adding on to July 3rd. That event will also feature the Ohio Wheelman Street Stocks with $2,500 to win, which Kalamazoo Speedway's own Ricky LeDuc took that home last year and kept the money. Kept the money here, so that's awesome.
He did. That's awesome.
And Tyler, I retired for like a month and a half, and then I missed it, so I'm back.
I called that. Yeah, Paul can say he retires, but
I mean, I honestly retire every year.
He retires for the offseason. Exactly. That's 100%. So I'm excited for 2023. It's going to be fun. I just want to see these stands packed again.
Tracks,
like I've said for the last decade, be nice to see full houses without paying $50,000 to Kyle Busch to come here, or without having school buses and monster trucks and fireworks. I mean, bottom line, and that's not a Kalamazoo Speedway thing. That's every local short track thing. And I got a couple things I'll touch over on. First off on tires. Our super late shows or modified shows, like we explained, that's taken care of. The big question, what the hell do we do about tires? We know Hoosiers told us 2023 and 24, unfortunately, we're expecting the same problem we've had this coming year and 2024. Zoo stocks are easy. Go buy some DOT stuff. Super lates and mods they're taken care of. Our big question: template street stocks and outlaw front wheel drives. We got a mess. Hoosiers made a mess. We've got a mess. A lot of people will start seeing things. We did soap last year. As if you guys know long enough, when I first bought the track in 2000, that red barn down here, I built that in the winter of 2000 before our 2021 season, so we could do tire and pound and get rid of the soap. I've been very, very staunch on that for many, many years. I didn't feel we had a choice this year. I didn't feel a lot of guys were going to show up. The well-funded guys could buy the tires. The other guys that couldn't, I don't think they're going to show up if they couldn't rejuvenate some of Kenny Head's old tires that he sold them for $15 a tire. I don't think we're going to get these guys back if we didn't do it. A lot of people talk about an impound system like we used for 15 years. Two things with that. First off, I know about it. I know more about it than most people do because we did it here. A lot of drivers didn't like it. You had to have 6 wheels to leave your tires here in the track. You had to have 4 to roll your car up on the track. And a lot of guys played the first hot lap session with 4 practice tires. Okay, so all of a sudden, you're talking a lot of wheels here.
Yep.
You're talking 14 wheels, and then we got a wheel shortage this year and last year. Guys couldn't. It wasn't what they had to pay for them. They just couldn't find it.
Yep.
So, and then number 3, the weekly guy Galesburg that said, or Springport, I don't care where it is, that said, hey, it's supposed to be raining tomorrow, Saturday. Let's go race Kalamazoo. They weren't coming to Kalamazoo to race, those hit and miss guys. Back 15 years ago, you had your point runners that hell or high water they were coming to your track. That's not like that anymore. You see Brandon Zachary a couple times here in the last 2 years been the point leader up to that time, and then 5th week in the season he takes off camping. Hey, good for him. Good for him. He's putting his values in order there. But on the flip side, you never used to see that. Okay, so we do need on a typical night, 80% of our guys are your regulars, but 20% are travelers. 20% are these guys that you'd be surprised if you looked at the whole sheet for the year, how many guys race just 2 or 3 times a season, yet you still know them. Oh yeah, Colin Bozell. I got a guess he was here 4 times, 5 times. There's a lot of guys, and I don't just mean a no name. The people just aren't racing year round, all the weeks. So the tire impound doesn't work good for that. A flat 2 new tires a week thing, as we all know, there's no good answer here, no quick answer. And you could get 600 people answering here, and I could have a rebuttal, and not to be argumentative, but I could have a rebuttal says why this hasn't worked in the past. So there's not a real big. The only big question here is what the hell do we do about tires, and I don't know that yet. So I wish we had a better deal than that, but I don't. One thing about as far as rules, I know everybody's kind of down on any track for rules. I wish our street stocks, and I'm talking street stocks and templates mostly here. I wish we could get these with 6 or 8 or 10 local tracks, the Michiana tracks, if you will, to be like modifieds. The modifieds can kind of go where they want to. You could go to Northwest. You don't go anywhere here, run a modified race. It would sure be nice to see the street stocks. And the thing is, I've got them all printed out on my desk at the office. They're very, very close between the other tracks. Just a couple inches here, 150 pounds here, whatever. And that would be my pipe dream. And I've tried it for 10, 15 years to work with other tracks. But I do have in this very short future, and I don't say when or what time it is because I don't want anybody showing up to it. But I do have a meeting with 3 other tracks and a couple chassis guys put the chassis and stuff together for street stocks, and a meeting and to try to gel this together a little bit better. Hell or high water, I don't care if we have 3 things to change and Donnie has a couple things changed and South Bend has one thing. It would be very, very nice, and it would be beneficial to us all if we could, especially when you're starting to see more of these $5,000 win street stocks races here and there. The guys are traveling, and Rick Billy Duke we should be able to get his cars close enough where he could go to any track he wants to. And I don't really care about a North Carolina track or track 7 hours away, but we have a lot of tracks here within 3.5, 4 hours. So
I agree.
But we are working on rules. Very, very few changes to speak of. But we do fight to keep this as close as we can, neutral with every other track. And we work with other tracks for that reason. So
it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
We've talked about this in our previous shows. Is if you can't have the promoters and the owners working together, it's just going to kill everyone. So
we talk about car counts and people counts and so forth. I do a spreadsheet of 8 area tracks, so I know what we've got for cars. When people say, "Oh, this track's doing this," "Oh, you're not doing this," good, bad, or different. I know. Yep. I also have several people at several different tracks that send me an 8 p.m. picture each week too. And this isn't a who's doing better thing. This is kind of knowing where we're at. Yep. And when we've seen some crowds here of 900 people and 800 people, when we used to be a kind of our solid base crowd was 1,300, and we're down like that. Other tracks, everyone's in the same boat here. So anybody's sent a good picture, chances are they have school buses and monster trucks out there, and that's sad, but that's what it is. So to think everything's okay and rosy in this industry, it's really not right now. It's tough sledding. Doesn't mean a panic situation, but a lot of the track people and people are owners and keep people in tracks and so forth. They're aware of this, and we do have a little bit of concern for that. So I don't know. Where you're starting to see a lot of tracks throwing the big money around. Okay, you see our late model show. The Owasso, Berlin does very, very well. We've got some guys with some deep pockets in this sport now, and we should all be pleased with that, because these guys that are putting $3 million into a track over the next 4 years, this is money they're never going to see back from that track. Never, ever, ever. These are guys who love this sport enough to invest this kind of money. Randy, what he's done for the bathrooms and so forth, and just the elevator for a few people. That's a boatload of money.
Stairs. That's for you, Seltzer.
but the elevator is done now, by the way. It's the craziest shit you ever seen there. But no, these high roller guys, money people. You look up Berlin's facility with their bar or Bertrand, or what I think you're going to see up north in Wausau and so forth. It's fantastic. It's fantastic, and people should be happy about it. On the flip side, last winter you seen Plymouth, and Tony just flooded the hell out of Facebook. He got sick of seeing things about their Plymouth 4 races. I mean, which is all good. What I'm saying there. But the first two shows were fantastic. The third and the fourth one flattened out a little bit. It was new and it's exciting, and people got do it, but it wasn't your night of destruction. The one that really packs the place and so forth. Owasso has that late model series going. I think that's going to be very, very good. What he's doing already, what you're hearing planned for the track, everything's stellar there. And the people that have their Randys or their Mr. Berlin, I'm sorry, Don.
Can't think of his name.
Don. Anyway, Don. But Berlin and the Wausau guy and Bertrand, so forth. Good for them guys. Good for those guys, because I'm telling you, when the guy at Wausau has a 5-year plan of $4 million in that track, that's a donation. That is a donation, because he's never going to see that return back on that. He's going to have a great facility, but he's not going to see that return. So we should all be happy with that. But everybody gets pumped up for these $5 and $10 and $15 and $20,000 shows, and it does create some other problems. Bottom line, we're weekly tracks. We can think what we aren't. We aren't a Bristol. We aren't one of these tracks that are going to ever have a cup race here. And
would be cool to see the cup guys out here. I'm just saying, like.
We seen
that note down, Gary?
We seen it 25 years ago. It wasn't that good here.
Clash.
But as we all get pumped up about the big stuff. I've preached it for many years. For the last 15 years. We're just a circus here. We need all you performers, all you clowns here to put this show on and everything like that. And we've got two of the best clowns you can ask for right here. But no, we as a track need these drivers more than ever than before. But yet the drivers can't forget that they need the tracks too. Yep. And we've all heard the 3 or 4 or 5 tracks every year closing down, and you're getting a few revitalized now, but more are still shutting down than getting revitalized. A lot of people are saying, hey, we can't pull our street stock out of the garage anymore for a $1,000 better show. That's not the best scenario. And hey, we're part of it. You see, we're all these $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 shows we've got the same thing. We just have to watch out. We just got to watch out, because the bottom line, our bread and butter is our weekly racer. It's not when the modifieds come. It's not when the Clash is here. It's our weekly 88 guys that are here, hell or high water, and I see the same guys every one of these spots. That's our bread and butter. That's our bread and butter. Doesn't mean we're bringing in money, but that's the bread and butter to Kalamazoo Speedway. the average short track cannot afford a social media firm or a PR person or a publicist firm or anything like that. We can't afford that. A couple of them do. They can't afford it, but like I said, they if they got money behind them that they can do that for, that's great for them.
Yep.
These Andy Jacks and Justin Leroy's and the top pro video guy Lewis and these guys, these are our saviors.
Yep.
Jason, his posters he does Andy Jack, like I said, Andy. And there are not too many guys that don't spend any more time on Facebook than those four clowns. I'll just call those clowns too, since I called you guys that. But they are saving grace to this local short track stuff.
I agree.
Because, like I said, at Kalamazoo Speedway or Galesburg or Springport or any of them to our south, they can't afford to hire this kind of stuff out. And so that's our. So since we can't afford to hire them things, what us tracks have to look at, we have, I just mentioned 88 of our weekly drivers. There's our best sales people we can have.
Amen.
If I go to my neighbor or to the guy at the restaurant or the guy at the bar or whoever it happens to be, and I talk about racing and I'm saying, oh, you ought to see what Paul did, you ought to see what Billy did, what Kenny did, what whoever did. I talk and talk. That's not the same as these guys talking. As him saying, boy, you should have seen me crash again. 7th week in a row, I'm going to hit the wall, and I still got my car going again. Seriously, those are our salespeople.
Yeah.
And we've got very, very lame on pushing our sport because so many of them, what are you doing? Well, in 3 weeks, I'm going to that 10,000 win special down at wherever. Don't forget those 3 other weeks there because that's your bread and butter, and it's ours, and it's every other tracks too.
Yep.
So we when the old cliche is the tracks need the drivers as bad as the drivers need the tracks, this is really quite true. And if you sit back and you kind of think, hey, tough, I'm only going to go if it's $1,500 or more to a show. We all may have some surprises there that we don't want to see here in the future. So the track, like I say, not to paint gloom and doom on things, but we see crowds, and I'll get on that. I see somebody that's been racing for a long time, and they're saying, "Yeah, we just need more money. Yeah, drivers need more money." You need to turn around if you're saying that and look up here, and don't worry about Kalamazoo Speedway. Go to any other track too, because it's no different. And we got to try to work on this money thing. Like I said, I found a great sponsor with Mark Flairman for the modifieds. We might have something with the street stocks this year going on for a better weekly deal. The class, I showed you some pay this year. We've got some substantial upping in weekly money this year for all 4 of our classes, and that's good. We lost our Outlaw Super Late Models. We were forced to lose them, however you want to do that, and give them 4 big shows, but they aren't going to be weekly. It does free up a little bit of money for us. On the flip side, a lot of people say, well, Super Lates, we all know they bring in all the people. They bring in the people. We had two crowds this year. We only had 6 shows? 7 shows.
7, I believe.
7 shows this year. We have 2 crowds this year, less than 900 people, and we have Super Late Models. Okay, so you guys got to, like, I'm a numbers person, and I keep track of stuff good, and you got to quit saying that stuff to me, especially people spout off on that thing too often. And you don't see me, very seldom do that, but I want to. Because when people say, well, the late model is bringing the people, you know what? We've had times when we have 4 classes, so that late models here have 1,300, and the next week we have late models in 3 of our 4 classes, and we've had 870 or 840, whatever. So I'm not good at anything, but I keep track of a lot of shit. And one thing is these numbers, and it's not just late models bringing in, but our street stocks do fantastic. All 4 of our classes do.
Yep.
So it's a balanced group, but we can't split. We can't. Hey, I hope every week one of these cars that don't race at Kalamazoo are racing somewhere. I don't care where. Just go to one of these other 8 tracks in the 150-mile circle from here. But they have to do that. They have to do that. And hey, I know a race as long as you have, I guess, or longer. But hey, I realize when a motor blows or when you crack a wall or what it takes to be ready the next week.
Yeah.
And most of us didn't have the money to do what it took to get ready that week, but we still did it. I don't know how we did it, but we still did it.
Insanity.
Yeah, it is. But
real quick, Drew wants to know what about the drift program in 2023?
that went very well. Bart Fisher set that up between a couple drifting companies. You see all the rubber and the lines. You can't see the parking spot. The last show here, they had about 35 cars, and they're feeling real good about it.
Good.
They didn't bring anybody in the crowd to speak of yet, but they.
Good thing we didn't walk over here.
It was a good program, and you're starting to see 2 and 3 cars going at the same time, doing some choreography type thing, and it's all good, So I would be very surprised if we didn't see 4 to 6 shows of them. One thing about it, they will not interfere with any of these.
Nothing.
Be Sundays, be Thursdays, whatever. But otherwise, what you might see is a few more nights where 4 guys come here and show some of these people.
Yeah.
It's $5 to get in.
People love it.
Yeah. And
I didn't think it'd be that popular, but the crowd enjoyed it.
It's something different. It's outside the box.
A lot of people recognize the cars.
Yep.
Hey, even if it's a car they don't have, or hey, that's Camaro, that's a Mustang, that's a Beamer, whatever. Where so many of our cars are stretched out, where hell, they don't know if that's a Dodge or a Ford or a Chevy or anything in between. And neither do we. If the rule guy looks at his car, we don't know what it is either. But no, we're a little crossroads there. We got this thing being specials. I don't think any of us as race fans, race track owners, racetrack car owners, just a plain ass fan. I don't think anybody's ready to have all our classes. The only way we're going to see street stocks is we're going to see 4 here, we're going to see 4 in Plymouth and 4 at Donnie's place, and so forth. I don't think they're ready for that. I think we still need our weekly guys to keep that bunch, to have the pit parties you guys do every Friday night here. That's part of this game. That's part of this game.
Oh, what you talking about?
And I don't think you guys, these people want this big traveling circuit. Just only if that's the way you can chase these $1,500 win shows if you're a street stock. So
I need my Friday night home.
Excuse me. So no, but like I said, it's no time to panic or anything. But I think the scheduling is going to be as important as anything. I think you're gonna see a lot of tracks with a couple weeks here and there off. We're kind of running away a little bit from the holidays, like I mentioned, and you're going to see some tracks doing some different things. But that's kind of in a nutshell where we're at. So
I'm excited, and I think it speaks a lot for you and for Randy with the loss of Outlaw Late Models Weekly. Putting that money into padding weekly events and weekly payouts. Honestly, that's probably the biggest bitch you hear around all the time. So we're not making enough money.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
Unless it's $1,000 to start, even then, people are still going to bitch because we're going to spend $4,000 to get.
We have talked. If you were in this, I say career to make money, you're in the wrong career.
Myself and Kenny Hem were talking this week, and he said we can go back to when me and him battled we tied for a track championship in 97. I won, of course, because I won 6 features. He had 0. But we still talk about that. We never made it back then. That year I had 2 cars, and we talked about I had to take $700 a week to that track with me. Now I hope to make $400 back just to start money in the 2 cars. But there's never been a time, and somebody can argue all they want, they've never been a time this has been a moneymaker.
Oh.
And unfortunately here, besides Night Destructions and when we, in all honesty, Clash is not one of the Kalamazoo Speedway's big moneymakers. It really isn't.
Not with the money going on.
We have a $42,000. When they see that purse, they see the purse up at Awasa was $42,000. Don't think it's 42 because that's a feature. You have 8 extra cars there, and that's another $3,000. You have 2 support series, a street stock and a zoo stock, and you got $10,000 there. So you have $55,000, and then you do your overhead. And I don't mean your taxes and insurance and stuff like that, but I mean direct labor for the track, KTS, your ambulance, and all of a sudden you're $70,000. And so don't look at that $42,000 thinking, well, geez, he'll bring that kind of money in, because that's not as easy as you think. Our Kyle Busch up until our Enduro in September this year, that was our all-time biggest crowd the track's ever had, ever close to having. But that beat our Kyle Busch show flank. But
This place was packed.
yeah, but like I said, Kyle Busch was one thing we had with when Kyle was here. The pits, we had 1,100 people down here, and the pits, as you know, are kind of closed in the instructions. A few people are up there, but they're pretty well closed. So, no, up there was insanely bad. But yeah, we beat that this year. We finally beat that Kyle Busch late model class for the biggest crowd. And there again, unfortunately, it was fireworks and buses and monster trucks. But that's what it is.
Hey.
So I'm gonna ask a question. This
Yep,
is
sir.
probably I know a lot of people like the monster trucks,
Yep.
Paul. Is that something you can continue to do? And I ask this because it seems like every time they come out here,
They get lamer than hell, don't they?
I didn't want to say it, but yes.
No.
When there's one truck running and they're not
No.
really getting air. Like
Oh my
I
god.
think people, and I'm talking in general. I love monster trucks. Paul and I, we go to Fort Field every year now and watch the big show, but I think people get so excited for monster trucks, and then one breaks, like not even before the show starts, and
It amazes me, and in this show, I talk to a lot of people, and mostly with kids, and because as in my Howe business, I'll mention Kalamazoo Speedway, and they say, "Oh, we get out there, a couple times a year," but say, "No, what that's going to be? Oh, that night destruction we go to." Well, who do you go with? How old are your kids? And they tell me grandkids, whatever it is, and you're still surprised. Monster trucks overwhelmingly
I know
will be the
it's
first. Then
crazy.
the next thing, which is in my opinion the stupidest thing we have, are bus races. They're out there putting 35 miles an hour. Now they pull boats, and they smash the hell out of everything. And I think people like the mess. They think better than anything.
I think they do.
But man, I've watched those for 23 years. Now when you're blessed to have a figure eight track, which we don't. When you're blessed to have that Galesburg Spartan or anything, Flat Rock, those guys they put on a kick-ass bus
That's
show.
great bus show.
We don't here because we've got this concrete wall there and here. And what Johnny Russell tried to change it over there when he took out 70-foot of fence, a wall. I mean, when he tried to flip one, I said, "No, this track's too narrow to flip." But he was going to show me as the nose of the bus was in those 4 parking spots. But oh yeah, no, I was here. But no, that's the only research I had. Like I said, I don't have a PR firm that can talk to 1,000 people that were here and try to find out. But monster trucks and bus ride is still a big part of it.
That's crazy.
What people don't seem to like, they like these car deals that last 8 or 9 minutes. They don't like a 35 lap enduro.
No.
It's too they aren't in tune to that much.
They like getting shorter.
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah.
They spectator race, like spectator race again, pretty lame. Now last time we had a little fight break out here, and that was always good. And that's all I say about that. But you guys are rough to work with here. But no, people, and I can't not take when I'm talking to Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and they said they take their grandkids every year to that. That's tough not to listen to what they say.
So I have an idea. If Randy's listening, kind of piggybacking on starting your own big rig circuit, we should build a monster truck because I know this guy Paul that would have a great time.
Oh,
and put on a
how
show
did
for
I know
everybody.
this was coming up?
And I even have a story for you. So just
To cut in on that thing, he's looked at 2 monster trucks and a ride truck already. So
oh good.
that's what surprised me.
So-
Number one, we bought 2 monster trucks last September, a few months ago. One of them pulling up the hill there to park up where the meet and greet is. He blew his motor.
Yep.
Yeah, he made it that far. The other truck made it down this far. He got on the first pile and was stuck. He had no front wheel drive
Oh shit.
or 4-wheel drive. And in my Randy's humble opinion, he definitely doesn't think they had one when he got here. He thinks it broke the night before, and hey, we're gonna at least. He got stuck on the first car.
Yeah.
And he had no 4-wheel drive. The other guy made it to there. I'm not dogging those guys, but at the end of the year, monster trucks have had it. They're kind of like our race cars and everything else.
Held together with hopes and prayers.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of plastic ties.
Paul, I'm just gonna say your wife. I don't think she liked the idea of you being in a
It's all
monster
good.
truck.
It's all good.
It's good.
It's good.
So if anyone watching Mary does not approve of this message. Oh, she doesn't want to store a monster truck.
Randy's got to build a new barn for all these race trucks anyway. He said, "Well, we could just put." I said, "You can't put those semis." And he don't like the idea, but at least it's going to be a lean-to. If nothing else, it's going to be 120 foot long. But I'm going to put 15 trucks in. 15 semis.
I'm excited for that. Are you putting random racers in there, or are you gonna?
I got one. And my wife doesn't care for it either. Just on the.
If Donna's watching.
I don't know about trucks, but I'm gonna have one of them little Mack Bulldogs on the hood of my on the hood. I don't care if it's a Mack or whatever, but it's gonna have one of those little Bulldogs. I always like those. But
I love it. That's. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited, Paul. I know you're excited.
Super excited.
I don't, like I said, we've talked. I'm not sure where I'm going this year, as in racing, but I will definitely be here.
Tech, I mean, are you thinking helping Paul and Tech?
Oh, is that? I didn't know Paul.
Well, not 4 weeks. He's got 4 weeks that he's not doing it. Friday the 28th, Friday the 9th, Saturday the 8th, and Friday the 18th. But I've got him besides those 4.
Gary, the problem is if I do race the street stock this year, I'm gonna need Paul.
Where are you gonna race on Saturdays?
Saturdays.
Well, you guys will be here
on Fridays, too.
I
guess we just got recruited. All right. Well, we'll have to talk off season on this.
You didn't talk about that?
I did. Late breaking news.
Late breaking news.
Another. You're on Check with the Records.
Exclusive.
This will be discussed off air.
And one thing with you guys down here, the party's probably gonna be down here instead of up there each night.
I don't know if you want the party down here.
Oh, we do. I leave early. I give you guys the key. Make sure that gate's locked. That gate's locked. That one out by the road stays open.
Yeah, it's even there. It's like,
okay, it's all right.
I mean, you seen what happened. Now we won't go into
details.
But yeah, no, seriously though.
If I had my phone, I'd show you my ring. And when I see a few things on the track now and then, I know what's going on there, by the way, because I got 4 ring cameras on this. And so when everybody thinks they're so damn sneaky and they snuck out and run their 2 pickup trucks, so I'm thinking, you guys, no. Yeah. So regardless, I'll bring my phone over if you don't believe me. I do know what's going on anytime, and I mainly have it to watch that tire bar.
Right.
But no, yeah. So you guys all thinking, oh shit, yeah. Gary has caught you on that. I've kind of let it go here. Even yesterday, for Christ's sake.
No, what happened yesterday? No, we were good.
I'm just saying, I do see it. You guys all thank you. Oh, good. Gotta be Trick Gary. He never knows this stuff. Yeah, he looks stupid, but he's not as dumb as he looks. So that's okay. That's all right.
That's awesome.
No,
yeah, the little camera's about that big. It says ring on it. Big, ding, ding, and I see it 2:30 a.m. and I look at my phone. I say, "Hey, Paul." I go back to bed. So I know, but yeah, you're welcome, guys. Yeah. So our schedule. I wish, as you look at this here, I wish we had more things because we're having many new things we're be announcing. But I had to get our Outlaw Super Late shows. I had to get our mods booked. We will be having big shows for all our special classes. All of them will have. I wouldn't be surprised. Street Stocks have 8 or 10 good paying shows.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, whoa.
And
no, I mean they've got 18 shows on the schedule as of right now, which is huge. I think there's very fair schedule.
Yeah.
Considering the circumstance. So.
It's got to be, like I said, a lot of tracks. It's not going to work if you just keep throwing the same schedule. And many years we did. For many, many years, it was just we had to change the 7th to the 8th or whatever it was and go from there. But no, it's a little bit. It's going to be a little tougher this year. So
cool.
Definitely. Real quick, I'm going to say on this. We've talked to previous shows. If you're not a racer and you're out here with your kids, as we talk about the kids being the future of the sport. Get them down into the pits after the races. Come sit in a race car, talk to the racers, get these autographs again because as a kid I remember that, and that's what got me into this sport as a young kid is going down the pits at Berlin and I had those flags and every week they're getting filled up and now sitting in cars. Kids will remember that. So do your part as a parent and get them down here for free
Come up to
after the
tower.
show.
I'll have candy here. I have candy every week. So.
You heard Gary. Get them up the tower because I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on. I've been called up to this tower a lot. I've never gotten candy out of the deal.
I want to give you some candy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Seriously, the way he said is get them up the tower because I'm gonna tell you this view up here is amazing. Like, it's pretty cool. So,
But no, it's I'm very excited about 2023, but yet I'm on the apprehensive side on some things and what you guys are doing here with this type of show. Like I mentioned, Justin and these guys that just publish a hell out of stuff on social media. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take.
I agree.
And
Justin was our first guest on our show.
Yes, and like I mentioned also up top here, the speedways, you're helping us as much as anything. I'll be glad helping you with the location up there for the start of the winter, whatever you want to do up until Christmas. Or I don't care where. So
thank you.
But,
No, we appreciate that big time.
Hey, Gary, thanks for coming out on a Saturday afternoon and spending an hour with us and giving us some breaking news.
Yes,
some
great news.
Awesome news, and thank you for everything you do for us here.
very good, guys. You guys are doing returning the favor tremendously here. So
No, we love this sport. I know for Paul and I, we don't want to see the sport die, and we're going to do what we can do to help out. And I know all the promoters and owners are doing the same thing, so we definitely appreciate that. So.
I did want to reiterate on one thing for Kenny Head in '97.
Uh-oh.
That was 6 features to 0 that year. So
6-0.
yeah. So I didn't know if he caught that or not, but he'll catch it. Thank you guys. We're really
Thank you.
You're doing a great,
No.
great job. A good job for the whole sport in general there. So.
But we appreciate that. No,
All right.
seriously. So, all right, y'all. That is going to be our special for today.
See everybody at Dave's Bar tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yes, get out there to Dave's Bar. Have some fun, and I think we'll have an announcement probably next week.
Yeah.
We got some huge announcements for the show. We talked about the future of the show last night, and I think we're going to go in the right direction. So,
we don't have any. I spilled my guts today. You guys don't have anything to hint on a little bit, or?
I mean, a live audience is in the works.
Oh,
very
that's
soon.
good. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
mean, we
a
can
nice
talk a
conversation.
little bit and not go into details, but
For
oh.
years,
Do
we
you wanna-
used to go to Upper Cross, and then we had that thing about Mick Schuler
Yep.
had his radio show, and that used to be a big deal on Tuesday nights. Tuesday it was the
Yep.
slowest night, I guess, for the restaurant or bar, and the radio shows that us guys used to go to. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. So okay, you don't have to say I got it figured out. So all right,
you are racing the Bad Santa, correct?
yes sir. Yes,
So
sir.
you're not backing out like everyone's saying you're going to do.
I told him I'm going to race a limo if they have it done by then.
Shoot, I thought Paul and I were racing the limos.
No, this is a stacker limo.
No.
No, you guys wreck. If I have him do it, we're not going to have another limo for a stacker. He doesn't. You ever notice his stuff? He gets a lot of business, but not much repeat business. Have you ever heard of that? That was probably old bar days before you're married too. But it's all right. So.
No, we can't really announce too much. We are going to
No, that's
collab.
good.
We're going to collab with a
Dave?
couple of people.
Oh.
I'll just throw. We've been talking with Top Row. We're going to do a little collab with him to kind of help both of us out, especially the work Lewis does. And we're going to kind of throw that in the mix with us. Possibly a new segment coming out, featured Top Row Racing Media. And then, live show. It's going to be in the talks. And we're going to do a little collab with Dave's Bar. We talked to him last night. And
Good deal.
just kind of help businesses around here because business is rough for everyone. So
we need it. We all need it.
So definitely. So other than that, I mean, we'll have more details when we have more details. So.
That's what we'll do.
But thank you,
Gary.
You guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you everyone for joining us on a Saturday afternoon. Remember, no show on Monday. Take your kids out trick or treating. Hand out candy. Scare the crap out of kids. Whatever you do on Monday, just have fun. And
Go green.
Go blue. And we will be back the following Monday. And Mom of the Week will return. So. On that note,
Take care, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, nice.
Don't. I'm not done. I forgot. I am terrible at this, guys. Hold on. I
You
can't.
still on?
No, we're still on because I dropped the ball.